Any questions? Okay, thank you everyone for attending today's class. Remember that your midterm report is due this Friday. Please email it to me no later than 5 p.m. Bye everyone. Dear Matthew, we've come a long way, haven't we? I love seeing you laugh. I love seeing you run around. I love seeing you smile. In fact, I'm most happy when I'm with you, no matter where we are. I wouldn't trade this for anything else in the world. It wasn't always this easy, though. When you were a baby, I didn't understand what was happening. When I brought you to the pediatrician, he asked some interesting questions.
Hi, Jane. How are you doing today?
Fine, doctor. Thank you.
Now, as part of Matthew's 18-month checkup, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Does Matthew have a normal appetite
Yes.
and regular bowel movements?
Stinky, but yes.
Is he running and walking okay? Does he have good balance?
Yes, he's always running around the house.
Is he looking and pointing?
Yeah. I think so. I'm sure he does. I've never heard anyone ask that before. Why is that important, doctor?
Looking and pointing is one of the earliest forms of communication for a child. Kids pointing at things they see or want is an essential milestone in their development. But don't worry. Every child develops differently. I think that's enough for today. Can you please schedule another appointment in 6 months?
Yes, doctor, I will. Have a great day. Hey, good baby? Mm-hmm. Looking and pointing. That was a weird question. I started thinking about it, and I couldn't remember you doing that at all. Even once. That got me wondering. I started reading about what to look for. Response to their name between 9 to 12 months. Smiles by 2 months. Makes eye contact with people. Tries to say words between 12 and 18 months. Copies gestures like pointing, clapping. Waves bye-bye by 15 months. You did a few of those things, but not many. I started to realize that maybe I should get you tested for autism. I talked with several doctors, and they all agreed you were on the autism spectrum. At the time, it was hard to say how severe your condition was, because you were still so young. All I could do was pray and learn. It certainly wasn't easy for your dad and me at first. Hi, honey.
Hey,
How's your day?
it's another crazy day, Jane. I can't believe how many people are trying to get out of jury duty. I'm trying to build a case for my client, right? And then spending 4 hours interviewing people for jury duty is simply a waste of my time. I'm just happy I'm home. Goodness.
We need to talk. Can we sit down?
Sure. What's on your mind? What's up?
I've been noticing that Matthew's not like other kids. I brought him to a few doctors and they all said that he might be on the autism spectrum.
Wait, what? Autism, Jane? What is that? What are you talking about?
I did a search on Matthew's behavior, and a lot of the signs point to autism. He's 3 years old and he hasn't spoken a word. He never interacts with any babies or adults. He hasn't even spoken to us. And we're his parents.
Are you kidding me, Jane? You know, Einstein was 5 years old before he started speaking, right? Stop reading those websites. God, man.
Honey, we really need to look into this. What if Matthew's on the spectrum?
Stop saying that. You don't know anything, Jane. Matthew, he's perfect. Come, goodness.
It wasn't your fault, Matthew. Your dad and I just didn't know how to handle it. We were too busy trying to be perfect. We didn't even know what that meant. It took some time. And it took some help. I started reading books and researching websites about autism. I was surprised that there wasn't more information until recently. I also started looking for some support groups in the internet. I came across other moms who were in the same situation.
Hi, Jane. I'm Anne. Thank you so much for joining our support group. I read your bio. I hope you're doing okay. How's Matthew?
Good. Thanks, Anne. It's been a crazy few weeks learning about autism. I'm so happy I found your group. I'm surprised, and to be honest, quite relieved that there are other families knowing what I'm experiencing.
Believe me, Jane, we all went through the same emotions. We all think it would never happen to me, but life works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? But don't worry, we're all here to help each other out.
Thanks so much, Anne. I've just been feeling so lonely. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I had no idea how to feel when my kid was diagnosed. I was like, who else has this?
Exactly.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Hi Jane, nice to meet you. I'm Yvette.
Nice to meet you, Yvette. Anne and I were just talking.
I just want to say, we're here for you. I know how lonely it can feel. Believe me. I've got 3 kids myself. My middle one is on the spectrum, but we didn't notice it until he was about 4, I think.
Yvette and I met about 2 years ago, I think, right, Yvette?
Oh yeah, I remember when we met. I was a mess. Do you remember? I kept crying like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, we met after church. You had just moved from Seattle, I think.
That's right. We were both in a nursery. I think we were trying to figure out whose kid was louder. By the way, Jane, do you pray?
Yes, I do. That's funny you mentioned that. My faith is a huge part of how I'm keeping my sanity. Are you in a religion?
Yeah, Yvette and I go to the Church of Christ or Iglesia Ni Cristo.
Wait, I do too.
No way. What district are you in?
District of British Columbia in Canada.
I remember when I lived in Seattle. Romy was one of the ministers. Is he still there?
Yes, it's still here. I can't believe we're all INC. That's amazing.
Jane, I just want you to know, when I first heard about my son's diagnosis, I was in total denial. I look back at it now and I laugh at myself. I realized I had to change my perspective from why me to God, please show me your plan. I know it's still pretty early for you, but we're here to help.
Yvette's right. Matthew is different, not less. You need to put in the work to understand what that difference is. And remember, you need to be patient, not only with Matthew, but with everyone else too.
Yeah. Sometimes when we're out, Matthew could get disruptive and babble out loud. I was feeling embarrassed, you know? I could feel other parents' eyes like they're judging me, and I just wanted to leave.
Sometimes it's just difficult for a kid to process all that information. Like Anne said, you just need to be patient. but don't deprive your kid from attending worship services. He might be babbling, but he's listening. Faith comes by hearing, right? And don't worry, people will understand, especially in the church.
I couldn't believe it. A fantastic support group. I made a bunch of new friends. And we are all in the church. I started to think, maybe we weren't like other families, but we weren't weird. In fact, I started to realize that regardless of what we were going through, we were all God's children.
I love it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I yelled at you. You didn't deserve that.
I know. I understand. That was just an intense time for both of us.
Yeah.
For all of us, really.
So, how do we fix this?
There's nothing to fix, hon. There's nothing wrong with Matthew. And we need to understand, this is God's plan. We need to embrace it. And we need to understand what God wants for us. And for Matthew.
Yeah.
Sure, he might be different, but we just need to understand what his special needs are. And we need to work as a team.
Yeah, I get it. We're a family. God entrusted us as his parents, and we need to raise him up as a Christian. We are a family. We are.
I still have dreams for you, Matthew. I promise that I will never give up on you. I promise that I will help you in every possible way I can. And I pray that maybe one day you could be a minister and you could help families going through the same thing we did. Matthew, it's Daddy. We need to go.